Welcome to Flowering Heart. I'm Michael Milner,
I'm Suzanne Champlin.
and we are partners in life, but also partners in this work that we've been involved in together for over a decade. Flowering Heart Center is geographically located in Clearwater, Florida. But we have both a local community and a very much larger international virtual community that stretches all over the world, really all over the planet, which makes this a lot of fun. We have an energetic network that really blankets the entire planet through the virtual community. And we offer online courses and spiritual processes and events, which you can access anywhere in the world, like this one that we're sharing with you today. Locally, we also, these events and courses people can attend in person if you come to our center. Also, every Wednesday night at Flowering Heart, we have a community satsang. Satsang is Sanskrit for the community of seekers, or of those who are on the path of truth. And we come from many different backgrounds in life, places on the planet, very diverse. We truly are an international, holistic spiritual center. Even the local community, we come from many different countries and many different faith backgrounds. The altar behind us has symbols of many of the great faith traditions of the world. But we actually have people in our community that don't identify with any particular faith tradition, are not even necessarily sure what they believe about the Absolute.
We also offer weekly webcasts on Monday nights from 9 to 10, and those are all live online. Or if you can't watch them from 9 to 10, they'll be posted up on live stream on our page so that you can watch it at your convenience. Same thing with the courses that we offer. They can be taken at any time. And during the webcast, we have time for meditation, questions and answers, and also sharing the blessing with everybody. And we do something else that's an open eye light transmission to help you deepen your spiritual process.
Yeah, so you might want to check that out any Monday night, unless it's a special vacation day or something that might not be going on. But otherwise, it's every Monday night. It's been going on for years. It's going to continue. And the eye blessing is something really quite special. It's absolutely free and open to everyone. Also, we have quite a few online courses that are available anytime, that are archived on the internet, so that you can go more into depth about learning about the Flowering Heart blessing or other dimensions of the work, shadow work, working with Kundalini and chakras. There are 3 workshops on prayer. There are teachings on meditation. And there are going to be new ones coming out. We're very excited about one that's going to be coming up soon, the ancestor process. But go to our website and you can learn all about what we're doing and see pictures. And that's at floweringheart.org. And I think you'll enjoy exploring there. So what we're a part of, really, is a contemporary movement on planet Earth. We've reached a critical point, as I'm sure everyone is aware, that there needs to be a shift in the collective consciousness of humanity. We simply can't keep living on this planet at odds with nature and at war with each other the way we've been doing, and living unsustainable lifestyles. We need to live in harmony and peace with each other and with nature. And the only way that that's really going to happen, we can make all the resolutions we want, that we're going to be better and live better, but we need to become awakened collectively to a higher level of consciousness. And that's done one person at a time. Many people are awakening on planet Earth. And there are many centers and meditation groups and spiritual teachers and traditions that are really working toward this common goal of raising and shifting the collective consciousness of humanity as quickly as possible on this planet. And that's where blessing comes in. This particular video that we're sharing with you today is about the Flowering Heart Blessing. That's a transmission of divine energy and consciousness that can reach you wherever you are, whenever you are. Spirit transcends time and space. There's no distance, there's no separation in spirit, and there's no time. So if you're watching this video a year after we did this, you would feel the same presence and energy flowing through it because it's always now. It's always now. And the Flowering Heart Blessing is an amazing phenomenon. Suzanne and I have had experiences. We've been spiritual teachers, both of us, for many years. And we have experience with a number of transmissions of divine energy and grace. I mean, many of you are probably familiar with things like Reiki. I learned from the Taoist, Nuigonji Liao, which is a Taoist form of energy transmission for awakening and to stir the spiritual energies within you. You've probably heard of Shaktipat. You may have heard of Diksha. May have heard of the laying on of hands for the gift of the Holy Spirit, a Christian form of blessing. The Flowering Heart Blessing belongs to no single spiritual tradition or lineage. It is a gift directly from the divine source, not through any master or guru or specific teacher or hierarchy. It comes directly from source to help humanity awaken at this time. And it will support whatever path you are on. It's one of the beautiful things about it. You could be a Christian, and it would deepen the Christ consciousness within you. If you were a Buddha, it would help take you more deeply into the silence, emptiness, and openness of the Buddha mind. Whatever your tradition is, it will help to activate the core of your path and support whatever path you're on. Its purpose, well, why don't you share a little bit?
I'd like to share a little bit how it came to us. We were watching the sunset one evening, and we were talking about the flowering of the heart and the passion for this work that we're doing, and how we've seen so many lives transformed and changed, and relationships healed, and just so many miracles. And so we really realized that our focus and our work now very intensely is the flowering of the heart and helping people remove those obstacles and heal those obstacles that are blocking them from being whole, from being integral, and having the heart flower. So we asked, I wonder what a flowering heart blessing would feel like. So Michael and I set the intention and prayed, and this beautiful, beautiful energy came into our hearts and just rippled out through every level of our being. And we started to see really profound shifts in our lives and the lives of those around us from this blessing. And that's when we started to share it. It was the summer of 2015. And this last year has just been a very magical journey. We weren't sure how we were going to activate people. We don't call it an initiation, it's an activation. And we realized that, as soon as we gave it to somebody, they were able to transmit it right away. So this is just a short, simple video to help introduce you to this wonderful blessing and activate you so you can share it with your loved ones.
So once you receive the Flowering Heart Blessing, you're activated to share it with anyone else if you're so moved. And then once they've received it from you, if they connect with it, they're activated immediately to pass it on. So this can just go viral. It's absolutely free. It is a free gift of the divine to humanity. We've been involved with so many other energy and spiritual transmissions that have been so helpful in our lives and the lives of so many other people. But I think what stands out with this one is that there's no cost involved, that it's not tied to a single lineage or tradition. And and that you're instantly activated to share it and pass it on. And the fruits, what it does is it will produce healing and wholeness on various levels. It can impart physical healing, emotional, psychological, spiritual healing, the healing of relationships, anything that's broken in your life. And it can bring about awakening. And by that I mean that most of us are suffering because we're living in continual resistance to reality in the present moment. There's stuff that just really bothers us, and we really are not at ease with the what is in the present moment. And there's all this reactivity in the mind going on and chattering all the time. In the experience of awakening, that chattering is silenced, and one becomes free of the shackles and the chattering of the mind to experience the peace and the beauty of the reality of the present moment. No matter what's going on, if we're not in resistance to it, it's really quite beautiful. And as Suzanne was sharing, in addition to that is the flowering of the heart. It's so important that the boundaries that separate us from each other, that make us feel separate and distant from each other, from other people, from nature, and even from the divine source, that those illusory boundaries dissolve so that we experience oneness with all that is, which is the ultimate joy and transformation for humanity. So this blessing does all that. I mean, it's an amazing thing.
It begins to work on your spiritual center, your heart center, and the effects that we've seen this year is people are really deepened in compassion, unconditional love. There's been so many transformations. It's been really beautiful. This energy really goes to work to help you on your spiritual journey in a very profound way, in a very gentle and loving way too.
So, how do we give the blessing?
It's very simple. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, the blessing really is, it's a misstatement to say we're giving it, because actually we're just instruments for grace to flow through us. We're not doing anything when we give the blessing, so it's almost a trick question. How do you give the blessing? But we simply hold an intent, and we ask the presence, the divine source, however you relate to absolute consciousness and unity. We ask the divine to let us be instruments of the grace of the flowering heart blessing. That's it. That's our job. And we hold that intent for a person in front of us. And very gently, and I mean gently, we lay our hands on the top of their head. And it's very important when you do it that you don't rest the weight of your arms or lean on someone. People's cervical vertebrae are very sensitive sometimes. And so we don't want to put any pressure on people's heads. Just very lightly touch the top of their head and hold that intent and ask the divine to pour this grace through you, and you'll be amazed.
Yeah.
After this activation, this energy is going to be pouring through you, and people will feel it. So you just keep your hands there for anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute, and just follow your intuition, and you may feel it stop flowing from you into the other. You may feel nothing at all, doesn't matter, it's happening. But you'll get an intuitive sense after 30 seconds or a minute or so. And very gently remove your hands. When you give the blessing, it's best to close your eyes and invite the person you're sharing the blessing with to close their eyes. You should always have their consent when you touch and impart an energy transmission. It's just appropriate. So make sure the person knows what it is, that it's a flowering heart blessing, what it can do, and they want to receive it. And it's best to keep your hands just to the top of the head, and you don't need to give it to the shoulders or the palms of the hands or the soles of the feet. I'm sure it would work, but it's better etiquette, and it works. It does a beautiful thing in going in through the top of the head. It really silences and clears the mind and pours into the heart. And the heart just begins to just radiate and shine. I liken it to a supernova of love, which is what the world needs now, right? Is unconditional love. And in this, it's very transforming right away. It can also be given at a distance by intention, as we're doing now, and as we're going to be doing in a very focused way in just a few minutes. And to do that, to give blessing by intention, as you become familiar with the energy of grace flowing through you, you can just hold in your heart an intent for a person who's not with you physically, or across the room from you, or halfway around the world from you. And it could be not just one person, you could hold an intent for a whole village, or a whole town, or a whole country to be blessed.
We like to send the blessing to, any disasters we hear of, earthquakes, natural disasters, fire. Whenever an ambulance goes by, we send intent blessings to everyone involved, including the, emergency responders, any medical professionals that are going to be encountering the people in the accident. It can be applied in so many different ways.
And basically, we're just making the connection. We're plugging into a need and plugging in the other end to infinite grace. And it's we're not doing anything. So what are we praying for? That the divine will give that person or persons what they need. That's it. I mean, we don't need to pray or think anything. The less actually you do, just get out of the way. And trust that the divine knows best what is needed. It just flows. The more you try to enhance it with visualization or prayer or breath or anything like that, we're just getting in the way. And actually, it weakens it a little bit. So just connect with compassion and get out of the way. And it's transforming to you as it flows through you to the other. So we could, with a group sometimes, we'll hold an intent for some area of the world that's in need of help, or someone somewhere. And some of us will lift up our hands. Others will just keep our hands in an upward position on our knees. Others don't use any hand position at all. It's just a matter of holding the intent in your heart. And the divine blesses that and just floods through with grace. So
let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. So it would be good now if everyone would close your eyes, sit upright with your back straight, your palms opened and turned upward on your knees or your thighs, and just be in breath awareness for a few minutes. That means to just feel the breath flowing in and flowing out. Breathe naturally through your nose. No special breath, just relax, slow, deep breathing. If it's from your lower abdomen, it's best, but just be totally relaxed and let each exhale be twice as long as the inhale. And as you exhale, slowly and deeply release any stress, any burdens, any weights that you're carrying in your being. As you exhale, release them to the universe. And inhale grace and peace and healing. And take several long, slow, deep breaths this way. Let it get deeper and slower. Exhaling the stress, any weight, any resistance in your being. Letting go, allowing, and inhaling silence, peace, grace. Now, gently bring your awareness breath every time your mind wanders to a thought or a feeling or an image. Just very gently let it go and return to feeling the breath. As you keep doing this, you might become aware of silence, emptiness, and openness for just a moment between each breath, between each inhale and each exhale. And the space between is vast, open, clear, empty space. There's a little doorway that opens to that silence and openness between each breath for all of us. And as you enter deeply into breath awareness and keep returning to your breath, you may be aware of that silent peace that's always there at the center. And you can just keep returning to that and allow. Bring your awareness to the top of your head. Continue to be in breath awareness. And as you become aware of the silence between and through everything, you can keep returning to that silence. Here, at the top of your head, you may become particularly aware of that openness to infinite, clear, empty space. This is your original self. You have always been clear, unlimited, silent, open space. This is awakened consciousness. And this is what and who you have always been, without beginning and without end. When all phenomena drops away, you will still be aware, alive, full of peace and bliss and unconditional love, because that is the nature of the source of all that is. And that is your original being. So just feel that. And allow yourself to feel your true identity, which is not a body, not a mind full of thoughts. Those are just floating in that infinite ocean of witnessing consciousness, which is your true, original, awakened state. And the reality that you are in the process of awakening to. Affirm within yourself, I am awakened, eternal consciousness. I am the awakening. And very gently now, allow your consciousness to settle down into your heart, your spiritual heart, in the very center of your being. You may feel that infinite presence Some people call it spirit, some call it source, some call it the light. For some it is the divine. Settling into the center of your spiritual heart. This is where presence, source, the divine dwells within you. Always has, always will. This is the divine source within. The Buddha within. The Christ within. The inner light. The Paramatma. By whatever name and however you relate, simply invoke into your heart the fullness of that presence. Invite it to fill you. It has always already been there. And it is your source. Your heart is the temple of transformation. And the transforming presence, the true teacher, is dwelling within you at the center of your heart. So invite the light, the presence to fill you, to fill your heart, to prepare you as an instrument, a vessel for divine grace to flow through you, to flood out of you like rays of light shining from the sun, like floods of living waters gushing out of a spring, breaking forth in the desert. Out of the center of your being, flood light and life, floods of grace. Invite this presence, this divine source, to let you be, to make you an instrument of the flowering heart blessing. To remove, as we ask the divine to do this now, every obstacle, every impediment, every block in every layer of your being, to prepare you and make you a fit vessel for this grace to flow through you from this moment forward. Its desire is to bless, to heal, to liberate, to awaken divine energy and consciousness in everyone it touches, in everyone you touch, with the intent to let this blessing flow through you. And so we ask the divine presence now to activate you as a flowering heart, blessing giver, so that everyone you lay your hands on with intent, everyone that you direct the blessing toward with intent, for them to receive the flowering heart blessing, it will come flowing through you without any hindrance to transform lives, to bless and to help in the transformation of our world. Now just take a moment and allow and receive. Now, keep your eyes closed and take your own hands and just put them on the top of your head. And with your hands, which have now become instruments of grace, receive. Hold the intent ask the Divine Presence to flood you with the grace of the Flowering Heart blessing. You see, you can even give it to yourself. And receive. Receive with your hands gently on top of your head. Allow the presence to fill your being. Spirit, soul, and body, from the top of your head to the soles of your feet, through every sheath of your being. If you have a particular need in your life for healing, for help, it could be a relationship, it could be a financial need, it could be physical, emotional, healing, whatever you're longing for, awakening, transformation, ask the Divine to give it to you and receive. Allow. Now you could, if you want, imagine a loved one, someone you feel genuine compassion, love for, who has a need, or you just want to give them the blessing. With your eyes closed, imagine them standing before the eyes of your heart. And hold the intent for them to receive the Flowering Heart blessing. You could even lift up your hands and extend your palms toward the image of them that is before the eyes of your heart. And allow. There's nothing for you to do. The Divine Presence is the one doing all of this. You're just an instrument, allowing. You may feel the grace flooding through your body, through your hands. Some of you do, maybe many. There may be some who don't feel it initially, but grace is not a feeling. It is the phenomenon of the Divine Presence flowing as a gift to help, to free from suffering, to liberate, and to bless humanity. As you keep giving the blessing, you'll feel more and more and more. Now you can thank the Divine for this amazing gift. Just sit for a few moments longer with your eyes closed and your palms turned upward on your laps, your thighs. Just allow and experience the amazing grace that is flowing through your being. It's yours now. This is the gift of the Divine, of the universe, of the light to you. Share it frequently. The more you share this blessing with willing recipients over the next several weeks, the more strongly it will flow through you and become anchored in you. You can join us on our Monday night webcast, where many of us will be sharing and sending the blessing together. And that's a great way to connect and feel more deeply into this blessing. Is there anything else you wanted to share, Susan?
Whenever you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes. you enjoyed your new activation, and we hope to connect with you in the future.
We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, we really enjoy reading the testimonies, so our email addresses are both on the floweringheart.org website, and please be in touch. We'd love to hear from you.
And most of all, please share the blessing.
Yes.
Spread it around.
Yes.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Which means very simply, the divine in me acknowledges and bows to the divine in you.